I'm so okay right now if you ask me to be a stay-at-home husband. Like I'm that like
Of course you
I'm that
would.
comfortable.
Of course you
Yeah.
would. Yeah, that would be nice
Like I
though.
would wake up, prepare Janine's baon, everything.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Have a Nice Day podcast with your favorite host, Janine.
And your second favorite host, Joshua.
See what you did there? When we were not married, you would always say, "No, I'm the favorite host." You would like have a contracting,
Like an opposing thought to that
no,
statement.
contrasting statement. But now that we're married,
It's like, yeah, I just fall
you're like
and
fine.
take orders now. I'm just like, yeah, there's no
Yeah.
point in trying to contest you and just accept life as it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is that what you've learned?
I think that's what I've learned in the last 6 months of us
Yeah.
being married.
Hi everyone, we missed you guys.
Yeah, we missed you guys. Sorry that we've been on a little bit of a break. A lot of things has been happening in our
Always.
lives.
Whenever we take a
I know.
break and we fail to put out a podcast every 2 weeks, which is our promise to you guys, it just means that something happened or we went out on a trip. And this time it's we went out on a trip.
Exactly. And it's always like, like when you take a break from the gym, it's always so hard to go back to the gym
Yeah.
after all that. And I think that's something with us. Like
That's true.
we've been back for almost like 2 weeks now,
I
but
like that analogy.
yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
We've back for
It's
we've
like
been back
stand up
for
as
almost
well.
2 weeks.
Like if you don't get on the stage after a while, it's so hard to get back on stage, and then you're like, you know what? I'll just keep on pushing it for a little bit
Mhm.
until the fat lady sings, and eventually we have to come back on these two chairs, and
The fat lady sings.
yeah,
What does that mean?
it means when I think it means when like when push comes to shove,
Uh-huh.
or like the 11th hour when you're like
Right.
like your back is against the wall and you're just like, you know what? I'll just put on these headphones and hit the record button.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
I've been reading a lot, guys. That's why I sound so smart.
Where's this book? What book is this
It's
from?
called Archie Comics Digest number 11.
Oh gosh, I love that we're super noisy and laughing around here, but our dog Max is just laying on the carpet.
Yeah.
Can't see. Oh, there.
There you can see his
He sort
legs.
of like said hello to you guys with his leg going up, and you'll see half of him on the video. But for those listening, he's on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
he's
chilling.
used to this.
The
Like,
third member of this podcast doesn't do jack for us.
yeah,
Thank you.
this is what he does. He inspires us to do better,
I know.
right?
Thank you, Max.
And for those who are watching the video, you might see that I've already whipped out my ball pen and my notebook, my rocket book, actually,
Ah.
which I love. Josh got me this when I started my now job, which I've already
This video is not
been here in.
sponsored by Rocketbook,
Not
though, but it's a
sponsored,
product that we
but
trust and
we love it. I usually take my notes, all of my notes on OneNote computer because I just love searching and going through my notes very quickly, like
Right,
copying, pasting, etc. But I also like having having a notepad when I need
to take notes.
to take notes of things that I need to remember. And now that I'm getting older, my memory is failing me from time to time. Hence why I need to keep taking my magnesium. But I digress. I have a notebook and a pen in my hand because I told Josh I really want to be better at interviewing people,
This whole podcast
at
thing.
being a better podcast host.
Yeah.
And in order for me to do that, I need to stop forgetting things because when people talk and when you're into it, sometimes you have a great question, but you have to let your guest
Finish their sentence.
sentence. And by the time that they finish their sentence, I forgot my amazing question.
Also, on taking like notes on my phone, what I realized is, yes, I might be looking at the notes or whatever pre-work that I did for the episode, and then suddenly, you'll get the notifications like from WhatsApp or like Instagram or something, and then you get distracted. Like, yes, mom, I still love you. Can I message you back in a while?
Yeah, you get distracted easily.
Yeah.
That's why, like, you can't just
Yeah, so I think, yeah,
the
it's such a
way.
great way to actually pen down your thoughts and
Yeah.
get it on a notebook.
And go through, because Josh and I, we have our show notes from time to time,
Mm-hmm.
especially when we have guests.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't hear myself for a moment. Especially when we have guests, just so that we don't get derailed. And if we have like certain questions that we really want to get into
Mm-hmm.
with our guests, we have that, but it's usually on our phones. And I don't know if it seems like we're uninterested
Yeah.
in the conversation that's going on because we're on our phones. So I'd rather like be on a notebook. But it also makes me seem like it's like a therapy session, and Josh is going through a
Exactly.
therapy session right now. But it can be.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah, it's like she's
in
gonna
a
ask
way,
me, how does that make you feel like every 10 minutes?
yeah, which I will, because what we're going to be talking today is all about us and our marriage. And in a week's time, we're going to be celebrating 6 months in
Yeah.
our wedding,
Yeah.
and being together and living life together, being in the same apartment.
How our dynamics work from time to time, me working from home on most days, you in office,
Yeah.
what we do in our time together when you come home from work, all that kind of stuff.
So how does that make you feel?
Oh, so I think it started when my dad said he didn't love me enough as a child. I think it started when I never got a hug from my mom until I
Don't
was
say
15.
that, because your parents are one of the most loving parents
I
ever.
know, I know, I
Your
know.
dad always
That's
says,
I'm
"I
a
love you."
perfect guy, guys. Come
Yeah.
on, no family issues, no parental.
Okay, calm down. You're not the perfect guy, okay? No one's perfect. But first of all, I've not just been, but I've now officially made it to the diocese WhatsApp group,
Oh yeah,
which is amazing. So I don't know if
the amount of crap that happens in that.
I don't know if all of you have your own family groups in WhatsApp with each other, but the diocese have their own, and I love it because now I'm part of it. I'm an official diocese.
Yeah.
And
So we don't use that group to talk crap about you anymore. Yeah.
she
We have
made another
one.
group.
Yeah, it's called Dias 2 minus
to-
Janine.
and Josh has one with his siblings as well, which I find very, very cute. But yeah, I've made it. I'm officially a
Yeah.
dias on the WhatsApp group, and I do see how much his parents love, Josh and his siblings, and how they really tell each other, "I love you" and "I miss you" and all that.
When are you coming home?
When are you
All
coming
those
home? When are
things.
you visiting us? What are your plans for the weekend,
Yeah.
etc. Which is great because I do have a very, very close relationship with my family members as well. And that's one of the things that I really loved about Josh, because he does reflect sort of the same values with how we treat our parents, our family members, etc.
Mhm.
Because you're going to find people who are not too close to their family members.
Yeah.
And I have dated a couple
Or
of people who are sort of in that understanding that, oh, why do you meet your family members every week, or why do you go to your parents every weekend, etc. And to them it's like too much,
yeah.
but to us it's just like it's normal.
No, because we have Vin Diesel values, right? Where family is everything.
Yeah,
So
family is
it's
everything.
So I think that's
Yeah.
the reason why. Like,
Yeah.
and I like that about us. We're
Mhm.
very close, and it's also great to see when like my parents and your parents get along,
Right.
and vice versa. So like it's really like everyone just gelled together and they act like long lost friends, like they haven't seen each other in a very long time.
Yeah,
I
which
think
is
that's quite
really
cool as well.
heartwarming
Yeah.
when you see that, because that was one of our concerns, not concerns, but things that we were scared of when we sort
Yeah.
of started dating. Are our parents gonna get along together?
Yeah.
Are our families gonna gel well together?
Yeah. But I think
Because-
it's because of like the shared experiences of them being in the UAE for so long and seeing
Expats,
this.
yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. That expat life,
Right. raising
the
kids in
immigrant
this
life,
environment.
basically, yes, and mixed race and stuff. So I think they really gelled on a lot of fronts from that side.
Yeah, plus their kids are almost the same age, sort of
Exactly. Yeah.
same age bracket.
Yeah.
So they're done with like most of the hard part of parenting. Done
Yeah.
with the
Now
teenage
it's just
years,
like
and we're all working, we're all adults, so they're more on like the chill side, just
taking a
watching
step
us.
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Seeing what now happens with the next generation
Mhm.
of Huri Dayas people. Yeah.
So I guess that's one tip to those who are looking for their special someone. Don't downplay the importance of values, especially family values. Again, family can mean a lot of things to a lot of people. It can be friends turned into family. It can be
Brother from another mother kind of
yeah. It
situation.
can be your church community. It can
Exactly.
be your colleagues
Your
turned into
paddle
family.
community.
Yeah. No?
That's a real sport.
It is. I started playing paddle.
Yeah,
quite nice.
but you can't just invent this sport in 2020. And
That's what's happening. You can invent sports. It's never late.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna invent a sport.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So
yeah, I like that. I like that.
That's
Yeah.
a very, very important thing to consider, that your values are aligned with one another, because marriage is for the long haul. It's not something.
Some say it's even forever.
Oh, some say.
Yeah.
Gosh, I've never
I
heard that.
know. That's cuckoo.
But yeah, marriage is almost forever
Yeah,
for most people.
for most people.
And so, speaking of marriage, 6 months in,
6 months in
how's
and
your heart?
3 years in as well.
3 years in.
So Janine and I have been together technically for around 3 years now.
Technically,
Yeah.
what does that mean?
That means if you add 365 days plus 365 days plus 365 days, that's how long we've been together.
This is new information
Dude.
to me.
And we had a leap year, I think, in between, right? No, we didn't.
We haven't.
No,
We haven't.
because next
Next
year's
year's
a
leap year. Yeah.
So yeah,
Uh-huh.
so yeah.
Amazing.
Good thing could have added plus more.
So, yes, 3 years together, officially being a couple.
Yeah,
June.
19.
Okay. That was a test. You got it. So we celebrated our 3 years. We had a short trip to Bali.
Woo, Bali, guys, is just like a white person's paradise. You know what? Everything that lacks in a white country is there in Bali. You know, like seasoned food, beaches, tropical climate. Seriously, think about it. Everything that a white country usually lacks
Right.
is there in Bali, and I think that's why they flock by the millions when they go to
Mhm.
Bali as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they just love it there, you know, like, oh wow, this is chicken with salt and pepper and like 300 other spices.
Right.
Back home in Britain, our chicken is fish. So it's usually like that.
What are you talking about? But yes, I wouldn't say it's a white person's paradise, because it's everyone's paradise.
Come on, you know, like the funniest thing that we usually see there is white girls. I hate saying this, but it's so funny. White girls with dreadlocks. I'm like, come on, man, get a personality.
Okay, calm down.
Why does your motorcycle have a surfboard attached to it?
Josh. But yes, there were a lot of white people in Bali.
Yeah,
But we managed to go to the northern side.
we went everywhere.
We went everywhere, Ubud. We were there for like what, 8 days?
8 days.
And I'm the type of person, and I'm sure you've heard this before already. I plan everything to the dot,
Yeah.
and Josh is not that type of person. Josh likes relaxing, getting into a resort. Maybe half of the day you're on the beach, other half of the day you're eating. But no, I'm like, okay, we wake up 7:30 a.m.
We go hike this volcano to see the sunrise. I'm like, what?
We need to wake up by 2:45 because the driver's picking us up at 3:30. We need to
Yeah.
make sure that everything's packed. These are what we need. And the itinerary sheet in Google includes every single thing, the link, the map, the what do we need to pack, the time, where do we check in, etc.,
Yeah.
all that. So I'm that type of person. We're totally different types of travelers,
Yeah.
which we're still finding our balance in between.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave you your relaxing days the last 3 days of our trip,
Yeah.
which is great. And he gave me my let's go, adventure time, visit time, see touristic areas, sort of take pictures, etc. the
Mhm.
first half. So we found our in between. And I think that's another thing for marriage, right? Find your in between. It's a give and take.
Yeah, it's like a give and take. Like we always, I mean, even in the beginning when we were started dating, we were always talking about, 50-50, we have to give each other 50-50. And then Janine stumbled across this, Michelle Obama sort of speech, which she always literally
yeah.
preaches. She sends me the same reel like once a week for some reason. I'm like, well, okay, I've seen this before. You don't have to keep sending it, but it's
Because it's real.
yeah. So you want to like tell them about it because
So
I think it's very very valuable information, especially for any relationship. It doesn't even have to be like
yeah, it doesn't have to be
a dating
marriage.
relationship, marriage
Yeah.
relationship. It just could. It's just
Any
good information.
healthy relationship. So we sort of grow up into this notion or belief that relationships should always be 50-50. It's half and half, meeting in between, etc.
I do my part, you do yours.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Queen Michelle Obama actually said something really, really important. And to her point, marriage is never 50-50. It's always someone will be giving more at one point and some will be giving less, but it always turns around. So one day, 1 week, it can be 80-20. Another, it can be 30-70, but it can never be
50-50.
50-50 equally.
Yeah, and give an example.
Like for us, there are some weeks when I'm not feeling well because lady problems, our monthly lady issues come, and I really get hit quite bad with bad symptoms when I have my monthly lady incoming.
And the red door opens.
The red door opens. Okay.
The red gate open and the flood comes pouring out.
Okay, that's a little bit too graphic,
Yeah.
but when it happens, I get bad symptoms, and some of the days I can't even get out of bed. So when that happens, I can't give anything. I could probably give 10, and Josh has to give in 90. He has to wake up early, walk Max, feed Max, and then get to work, and then asks me, "Are you okay?" Sometimes cooks for me, orders some food, washes the dishes, does the laundry, etc., and takes care of himself. But then there are some times when you would have your comedy shows, or you're busy with work, or you have to do something,
Or have a mental breakdown.
or Josh has a mental breakdown.
Or a panic attack.
And I have to step in. And I have to do, 70. And he has to do 30 because that's his capacity.
Yeah.
And so I've seen another reel as well where they say what's making their marriage successful for them in their own terms is that they have a check-in with each other as wife and husband, and they ask each other, how much can you give?
Right. I think those are the ones
And
you
at what
send me as
capacity
well, right?
are
Where
you
they
in?
have a
Yes.
so like they have a Sunday slowdown basically.
Mm-hmm.
They sit down together, they plan the week. Okay, so I have this on this and this on that day, this there. Who can walk the dog on this day? How are you gonna meal prep? So it's like it really takes into account like a lot of dimensions of what happens in their day-to-day household.
Yeah.
I think that's very smart as well, just so you're aligned as a couple as well. Okay, we have date night with this people this day.
Right.
We have our personal date night.
You have your own time for yourself. That's very important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and then like, it's just really nice to see as well, because a lot of things, I mean, the number one like sort of advice people usually give married couples is communicate. And I think this is one of the best ways of actually communicating, like taking like an hour
Mm-hmm.
before the week starts.
Mm-hmm.
Just go through what they liked about each other as well, because they reflect on the past week.
Yeah.
And
We
then
do
they
this.
just plan on the future week as well.
Yeah. So
And
we
I think
do
that's
this
yeah,
before we sleep. We ask like,
exactly.
what is it within, the week that you liked, that I
Yeah.
did? What is it that perhaps I need some work on?
Exactly.
So that we both reflect on one another. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's a little bit difficult to take out the words from one another because most of the time it's easy to praise, but it's so difficult to give feedback, especially when it's constructive feedback,
Yeah, I know.
especially for you.
Yeah, I hate giving feedback.
I think I'm fine at giving, this is something that you did that perhaps I would like to be so and so in the future. But for Josh, he's just like, everything's great. Everything's
Everything's
fine,
great.
babe. Like,
Yeah, my main thing in these check-ins is just me asking for us to buy a dishwasher and Janine saying no half the time, because that's always, I think we need a dishwasher. She's like, no. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll try again next week.
yeah, that's true. So going back, it's all about balance. with planning, as you said earlier, but also being agile in terms. Wow, it sounds very work related.
I know.
But
I think it's like second half of the year, and we're just really want to close our quotas and our targets.
no, but I meant like being agile, as in when I come home and I have so much energy, I'll be like, I have 70% capacity, 80% capacity, despite it being
Yeah.
end of the day. I can,
Let me pick up from where you
yeah,
left off.
yes,
Yeah.
I can do this, this, and this. How about you? How are you feeling today? Quite low.
Zero.
Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But of course, it can't always be like that.
Yeah.
It can't always be I'll pick up everything.
Like I let I don't want to make you sound like a 1960 housewife, but like if the garbage is not yet thrown
Mm-hmm.
and it's technically you're ready to throw out the garbage, but you're like in bed paralyzed or something, so it doesn't mean I'm not gonna throw out the garbage. So it's just those small kind of things.
Yeah.
I think you can take it back and digest it into your own relationship, but that's how our
Oh,
dynamics
we do.
usually are, especially when it comes to like day-to-day household stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, Janine and I, we have different work schedules. Like most of the time I'm working from home, she's actually going and driving to the office, so enduring traffic, finding parking, all that kind of stuff, and I'm just sitting here at home.
Yeah.
So of course I have a little bit more capacity to do the day-to-day errands, so I take that upon myself and make sure that when she gets home that the house is clean, the food is hot, and yeah. I'm the 1960s housewife, I think.
Actually, yes.
Welcome
I have
back,
to admit
darling.
that.
Can I
Like,
get you a beer and ready your reclining chair?
yeah, when people say it's unconventional for the man to sort of do stuff at home, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like I'm so okay right now if you ask me to be a stay-at-home husband. Like I'm that like
Of course you
I'm that
would.
comfortable.
Of course you
Yeah.
would. Yeah, that would be nice.
Like I would wake up, prepare Janine's ba on everything, make sure that when she's in office, like her clothes are ironed,
Mm-hmm.
the dishes are washed, and I prepare her dinner. She comes back, kicks back like a few beers, and I'm just like there.
never
Like I'm just
drink
saying, but I'm
beer.
just saying, like I'm so okay with that.
Wouldn't it be nice? Huh?
It would be great.
I would want to be a housewife.
Yeah?
How about I be the housewife?
No.
We always have this conversation. Who's
No.
gonna be the housewife or the house husband? And it's always us trying to grab one after another.
I think we'll finally settle it one day with just rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah,
I think
and like
that's
how we settle most
That's
of
how we
our
do
things.
most of our decisions.
What do we do for lunch? Rock, paper, scissors. You know what? We just started off with like planning ahead,
Yeah, I know.
doing this, doing check-ins,
Just
and
leave
then
your fate
actually
in a
at the end of the day, we just really do everything.
in a
rock,
4-year-old
paper,
game.
scissors. No,
Yeah.
that's true. So, and just wrapping up Bali, like Bali was amazing.
Bali was amazing.
Yeah.
The people are great. I love the Bali hospitality. And guys, one thing about Balinese, if you ever need a videographer, photographer,
Oh my gosh, you don't need one
You
because
don't-
essentially your driver, your tour guide, your whoever operates whatever you're doing takes amazing pictures.
human drones.
They are human drones.
Human drones
Yes.
shooting on an iPhone.
Yes,
And I don't know how they do it, but it's
they have so much.
because I
content to
tried
post.
to mimic whatever those guys were doing, and I don't know how they do it. And I did the exact same thing they were, but mine's looks like someone having a seizure and videoing like that. These guys are like
It was so
smooth,
bad.
doing like 360 turns, jumping up and then sliding down. I'm like,
Having a sky
yeah,
background and then whoosh, goes somewhere else.
seriously,
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
trained. They do it like very
Every day,
seamlessly,
yeah.
and they do it every day.
yeah,
So no need to hire professional photographers and videographers. You have people who are going to do your reels. You're all covered.
yeah.
If you're an influencer or someone who wants to be an influencer, they
I was
got
just
you
gonna
covered.
say like I it was like influencer con.
Yes,
Because
does.
it's
yeah.
I know there are like a million influencers here in the UAE, but I've never seen this many influencers in one certain place doing their pictures like in the like it's hot outside but they're still wearing like dresses, like tons of makeup. I don't know how they're doing it. I don't know
Yeah.
how they're doing
All
it.
for the reels.
All for the reels, all for
Instagram
that
and-
Instagram picture. And I was just like, wow, there's people who take this really seriously.
Yeah.
You know, like really, really seriously.
We were waiting in line for that treehouse photo,
Oh.
and there was this like a bunch of 3 influencers, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
And
they're
they
wrong.
bought because you have to buy a ticket to take a picture, and they bought more slots or more tickets so that they can take more time.
More time
Take
and
pictures.
had outfit changes. So
Exactly.
that's how like serious people are.
Mm-hmm.
It's like wow.
Yeah,
Like
it's a job,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So good on them.
Yeah, but
If they found money in creating content, then great, good job.
yeah.
So
So shout out to everyone in Bali who made our trip very memorable.
amazing people,
Yeah.
all smiles.
All smiles and
If you're interested in the itinerary that
yeah, we had
built
a bomb
together,
itinerary by the way, thanks to myself.
okay, yeah. Because I have a couple of friends who have been asking for the itinerary. They're like, oh, yeah, every time I see people going to Bali, it's mostly like party stuff and just going out and about and partying. But yeah, go up, Max. Okay, no.
Okay.
But yours look much more interesting, and it seems like you did stuff that are sort of out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
So if you guys are interested, let us know, and I can shoot you a link of our itinerary.
Our Excel file.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, back to the real world now.
Yeah.
Wow, I invited Max to come and sit with me and he went to Janine.
Of course you went to me.
Yeah.
It's my baby. And so, getting back to our topic of the podcast, it's how's your heart doing 6 months in?
My heart is full.
Yeah? Okay.
Full of crap. No, it's full of love and learning and understanding.
What's your favorite thing about 6 months in? What's your favorite thing about being married?
There's so many things. There's a lot of things. I think now is that I don't have to navigate life by myself anymore. And
It's so beautiful.
yeah, exactly. No, but it's basically that like of course like there are a lot of things that I don't know if I spoken about this before, but I always missed out on that part between my parents' home to our home. So like in the between
Being a
where I
bachelor,
lived.
you
Yeah,
mean?
being a bachelor, having my own place kind of thing. That's the thing that I really missed out when it came to being where I am now. But then being where I am right now, like understanding marriage as a 6-month married guy, it's really enjoyable. Enjoyable, is that a word?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now like I have someone to share like all my ups and downs with,
Right.
and having you especially in my life is like someone who really understands like my struggle in a way, but also like like makes me learn to celebrate the good things in life, which I always take for granted. Because I'm not an optimist, I'm more of a pessimist.
Yeah, leaning towards pessimist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
leaning. Because I like to, like I dwell on the
Realist pessimist.
no more. Yeah, somewhere in between a
Yeah.
realist and a pessimist. Like I tend to see things like black and white, and if there's like if I get a negative vibe out of something, then most probably it's negative for me. And you were just talking about this as well during lunch. Like I don't learn. I mean, the reason I think that I'm more of this person or why I'm like that is because I never took like all my wins and all my celebrations very seriously. I'm like, okay, like I let it like maybe sit in my head like, oh crap, I finished this today, or like, oh, I did this today.
Right.
But I never like, like make it stick in my mind. And then I just let it be as it is. But one thing that you made me learn is like, yeah, you gotta celebrate this. Come, let's go out for like celebratory drinks or a celebratory meal, or like let's invite the family over and tell them all this good news and stuff. And for me, I'm just like, I don't see the point for it. But like having experienced all those things, and it's proud for me to say, yeah, like I did this and that, and it's even if it's something so small, like, oh, I finished writing 100-word joke, or I managed to sleep 8 hours every day this week. It's like all these small things that like you should really not take for granted, because these are the things that really make you more and more productive at the end of the day. So I think
you have to reward yourself.
Exactly.
Because that's what helps you get through with it.
Yeah.
So little by little, you're like, oh, I actually did that. And You have to.
And I've always been like just to add to, sorry to cut you off, but like just to add, it's I've always been like a secret guy. Like if something good happens in my life,
Yeah.
I keep it
Yeah.
secret.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, but
I mean, you don't always have to scream about your wins, but
exactly.
so you do have to celebrate them. It doesn't have to be um like publicly celebrated.
Yeah.
It can be between the two of us. It can be a very quick, great job. This is what you've done. Here's a toast to, and when we pray for dinner, that's it. We celebrate it. But we have to reflect on the good things as well.
Yeah.
So I'm glad
Which
that
I'm learning to do slowly
Mm-hmm.
and surely as
Mhm.
well. But yeah, it's really great. Like we also learned so much about ourselves because but Janine
do.
had the phase of living by herself, which I'm so proud of. So she really knows how to take care of herself, or like when it's a busy work day, how she can manage the few hours that she has at home before she has to sleep. So it's really nice also to get that perspective of her. Like we learn, like now we're both learning how to cook even more,
Mm-hmm.
because literally like we would survive on Deliveroo, talabat, and whatever leftovers
Or whatever
we
our
had from our
moms
parents.
give
Yeah,
us.
exactly. So now we're like really fending for ourselves, like
Yeah.
like, and we're also thinking of like marriage is not only about loving each other, but it's also like planning for the future, planning your finances,
Mm-hmm.
so many things.
Yeah.
And it's great that we have that as well.
It's great because we're both on the same sort of mindset of where we want to be and how we want to be as a couple.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because to us, it's important that our marriage is not only to please us, individually, but to also sort of, and this is always our prayer when we're together, and even before we got married, is that our marriage can be an example, at least to people our age or even younger, that marriage can be fun, marriage can be
hip, you know?
hip and happening.
It's been happening, guys.
But we do want to be sort of a positive example to the younger people and to those who are maybe having a negative connotation of marriage. Oh no, I don't want to get married.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or, I don't want to have, commitment. I have commitment issues.
Yeah, I
have
know.
this
I
and
want
that.
I want my options. I want all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, those thoughts will come past to anyone.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But
But at the same time, I don't like forcing people to get married. I don't like asking
No,
people
you
as well, like, oh, you're
To each their
35
own,
and
right?
single?
To
Like,
each
I
their own.
never like pry into that,
Yeah.
basically. Like, of course, maybe you've been having problems finding the right person, or you like the what is that word I'm looking for? Like you rather be like a lone ranger kind of thing,
Yeah.
which I thought I was gonna be at the end of the
Yeah.
day as
And
well.
I thought
too.
I would be as well
Yeah.
until I met you. So.
Yeah. Yeah, well, corny.
But we do want to be an encouragement. Again, we're not forcing people to get married, to each their own. They don't want to get married, that's them. But when there are some things that are scary to people because they're not too sure if marriage is a good or a bad thing, I want to be us as an example of the good thing in
Yeah.
marriage.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
I
sort of
want our children to sing songs about us. Yeah.
okay. Well,
I want sailors to make our life story a shanty.
a shanty.
Yeah. There was once a boy who was Joshua.
Okay. No. Calm down. No. Not gonna take that. So
yeah.
what's my favorite thing about being married? You sort of said that as well, but it's having someone to just walk this very interesting life with,
Mm.
the ups and downs, having someone I can lean on to, having someone when I come home to speak my thoughts with, to just openly
To complain.
to talk about funny things with,
Send each other memes and stuff.
yeah, send each other memes.
Yeah.
And like Josh is like my best friend,
Sorry, Cheyenne. Sorry, Yan.
I do have my best friends, Cheyenne and Yan, but you're like my best friend that I do life with on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
So if you can't tolerate someone, maybe they're not the person for you, because this person's gonna be
But just to add to the best friend part, I love couples as well who hate the same things, like who
yeah,
hate certain things, and they just talk about each other, and they just they like bitch about other things, and I love that as
yeah.
well, like
Like we don't.
I can't think of like a life example or like a TV or movie example, but you know what I mean,
Yeah,
like, oh, look what she's wearing, like I
yeah,
love those kinds of couples as well.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's
So
like it's different, like, yeah, we might be each other's best friends, but we also at the same time,
have
like,
so many things that are not in common.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
a lot of things that I judge Josh about, and a lot of things that he judges me on as
yeah,
well. But we laugh about it.
yeah.
It's the thought that you have someone that you can laugh with, that you can have a bad day with, that you can have a great day with,
Mm-hmm.
and have a little lovely pet to
Foster and,
take care of with.
yeah,
So
give him the world.
that's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
The thought of marriage before marrying me, or before even knowing me, is it the same? Like, are you living your idea of marriage when you're single?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Is this what you imagined it would
Envision like
be?
what
Yeah.
marriage would be with you, or just marriage in
Just
general.
in general.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Cause like when I was thinking about it like long time ago in my 20s and stuff, I'm like, what is marriage gonna be? Is it, and it's so far it's like exactly what I've been thinking about.
Mm.
Like having a nice place together.
Yeah.
Having a dog. That was one thing that we also both spoke about
Mm-hmm.
growing up, and yeah, just shared responsibilities. Just so many things, like doing fun stuff together, because there's always people, like especially your friends who you love, but at the same time quite flaky.
Mm.
But then like someone who can be like so open about, like, okay, does these shorts make me look like my ankles are so skinny, like those kinds of things which you are usually like afraid to talk to about with random people with.
Mm-hmm.
But then with your wife, it's like, okay, does this shirt like expose my chest hair a lot, something like that,
Yeah.
I'm just giving those examples.
Yeah.
So it's like,
But a lot worse. Like,
yeah,
does my poop smell a lot?
yeah, 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 on that level, yeah, yeah.
That sort
Is
of
this
thought.
urine colored? Mean I'm dehydrated? Yeah, and you're just showing it in your hand because you peed in your hand and you brought it to the sala. That kind of
Or
stuff.
be like, babe, can you come here?
Babe, and can you get the camera? Because I want to record this poop that I've taken. No, but
yeah.
it's usually like that, like where you can just laugh about everything with, especially in my mind, where like for me laughter is so important,
Mm-hmm.
and I really love that. Like,
Yeah.
like that has to be like one of the things that I really have to look for when it comes to finding a partner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, someone who I can just laugh about anything with.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
don't necessarily have the same type of humor. Like Josh sometimes laughs at the most silliest things, which sometimes doesn't make me laugh, but now the thought of it makes me laugh. But we laugh at a lot
Yeah.
of things together.
Yeah, and I want her to laugh and she doesn't. I'm like, am I crazy in there? Like I was showing her the stand-up clip of this guy
Oh,
called
gosh.
Casey Rocket. If you guys want to check it out, and just this time never made it as a wise man, and I burst out laughing, burst out. I'm like, this guy is a prodigy. This is the next level of stand-up.
Mm.
I show it to Janine, I show it to Dwayne, and they don't laugh. I'm like, am I broken? Am I not finding this funny? Or maybe I've elevated so much as a comedian that I understand like those nuances which people usually don't get. And for me, that's like, yo, he nailed everything that a comedian should be on stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
He did not,
Yeah.
to me at least.
I
So.
know. And we're not performing for comedians. We're performing for everyday people who should be understanding it. So,
Okay. So, yeah, the point is we do laugh at different things,
yeah.
but we still laugh together, which is what is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. And for you, is it?
Yes. Yes. It has probably even more exceeded my expectations of marriage,
Yeah.
because I grew up in a very traditional household where my mom sort of initially was working and then sort of decided she's going to be a stay-at-home mom and a housewife. And so that idea scared me Like,
Right.
I don't want to be a housewife.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and I think it's also something that I didn't. I mean, I didn't know how to put into words, but like seeing, like the elder relationships or the older marriages that are there before our time, and it's so traditional. Like I was saying, like a 1960s housewife vibe.
Yeah.
The guy doing his 8 to 5,
Yes.
having like 8 kids or something.
Right.
And like for me, I'm like, wow, is this really what marriage is? But no, I don't know. I don't want to say we've reinvented the wheel when it comes to
No,
marriage, but this is like a new
It's just,
generation of
new
marriage.
generation. It's changing. I mean, there's still a lot of women who choose to be housewife, and eventually it would be nice for me. Maybe not at this point because I do enjoy my job. I still love earning for myself, but that thought scared me. Like I don't know why, but probably I just didn't want to lose control of my finances, my freedom, my independence, because for a couple of years I was living alone. And so I've always prayed for a marriage where the husband welcomes my independence and understands my independence and my yearn for independence.
Mm-hmm.
And that's you. Like, you respect me in all aspects. Like, you respect that I have my own job. You don't at any level sort of try to control or manipulate or look after what I'm doing.
Like I'm not a controlling husband. I'm like, oh, you have to be home at 6. Why are you
Yeah.
out for ladies' night? We have wine at home.
Yeah. And
Bring them over.
you actually encourage me, to go out with friends and
Have your you time.
my own time, and go to the gym and be myself and not take away from that. So you sort of buried me and added more to my life than sort of come into my life and take away portions of me.
Yeah.
So that was beautiful.
Thank you.
And that's what I appreciate about our marriage. And so it does live beyond what I expected out of being married.
I think it also, like, it's both of us also just being so easygoing, but not in a way where it's like, yeah, you can do whatever you want, but in a way it's like, yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Go do you, I do me. Then we can come home together and just chill. And
and that's what's so important, at least to us. And I think other successful, again, the word successful is it can be different things to different people, but I believe that in a marriage, each person should still have their own individuality, their own thing, something that they do for themselves that, sort of removes them from being a man and a wife, being together all the time. Because you need a sense of your own identity.
Exactly.
You can't always be attached to your person.
Yeah, and I think it's also us being like really different when it comes to being each other. Like my whole personality is, and like there's so many people whose whole personality is their wife or their husband. And like it's like I'm good on my own. I have my own hobbies. I have my own passions. My own projects that I'm currently working on by myself. And Janine has that exact same too as well.
And we support each other as much as we can. And we give equal time. So if Josh has a comedy show at night, I'm at home with Max having my me time, either watching my shows on Netflix or, I don't know, doing other things that I do. And then that makes me miss him even more. So by the time that he comes home, I'm like, I missed you.
Tell me about it.
Tell me all about your show and all that, which creates an excitement for both of us as well. So, marriage has been great. Whenever someone asks me, how's marriage doing? How's married life? And some people get surprised when I say it's been 6 months and I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much. Like I found my person.
And I try to scare you off. It's like, oh, you're still in the honeymoon phase, huh?
Yeah, that's what they say. You're still in the honeymoon phase.
Wait for it.
Or like, wait until you get kids. And I'm like, why
you'll be complacent.
Why are you like placing fear into marriage? Because marriage is actually beautiful.
Yeah.
when, of course, you find
Yeah.
the right person and you really work into things, because marriage is work.
100%.
Marriage is a
I
lot
agree.
of work. And you have to make sure that you put in the work
Put in work.
equally in a whole, like, in a sense, because again, you give and take, but it's not always
Yeah.
50-50.
I think it should always add up to 100. I know. I think it should. No, what am I trying to
I mean,
say?
eventually, it always balances itself
Yeah.
out,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Because you can.
In the long haul,
Yes.
yes.
So in the long term, it does balance
the grander
itself
scheme of
out,
things.
correct? But it's never at the same time split in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
because someone's always going to give just a little bit more than the other, and then it's a cycle.
I agree.
So, yes, 6 months in, great.
Great stuff.
Great.
We'll do another episode in 6 months. Another 6 months.
In a
where we
year.
reflect.
Yeah.
That might be
reflect.
mobile because we might not be in the country, but
All right. Yeah.
So let's try to do what Zahara
Yeah.
had suggested, and shout out to her as well. She recently got engaged.
Yes. Shout
You
out
can
to
check
her.
out her episode somewhere. I don't know. I can't remember.
2 years ago, a year ago, I
Yeah.
can't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, just check.
Zahra Zaldua, you'll find her on one of our episodes. We did sort of a web episode.
Yeah, our one of our very few webcam video conferencing episodes, but it was a lot of fun. Such a unique story as
And
well.
one of our first guests as well.
One of our first guests. Yes. Can
Yeah.
you imagine one of the very, very few, I think maybe the only person we know where the father is not
The Filipino.
where the father is the Filipino and
Oh,
the
yes.
mother isn't.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, so
the other way
it's such a
around.
unique story. Really love that.
Yeah, because so far all of our guests have been mom is Filipino.
Exactly. And the dad is
father's
something else. But
foreigner.
now it's
the other way around.
Yeah.
So yeah, you should check out the episode that we have with her. We're still in touch with her, and I was just speaking to her a couple of days ago because she got engaged. So
yeah.
congratulations to Zahra and Bo,
Congratulations.
her fiance.
Yeah.
We wish you guys all the best. And
Listen to this episode if you want marriage tips.
yeah, exactly. Or we speak to them and have another episode with the both of them
I would love that. Yeah.
when we
Let's
get
do
to
that.
the Philippines. And so, to wrap up,
Mm-hmm.
your heart's good.
Heart is good. My soul is good. My body is getting better.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
My body, not so much. But my
body
soul
still looks like a chicken lollipop.
still hurting here and there, but
Yeah, we're on the
Heart is
right track.
good.
I'm very happy about that. Like, we are doing what we do best. We are
try.
learning.
yeah.
We are giving each other constructive
We
criticism.
push each other when needed.
Exactly.
We lift each other when needed.
Exactly. And we bring down each other when needed as well. When your
Yeah, when
egos,
someone's ego is too much, we bring them down back to
I
earth.
can race an F1
Okay.
car.
But that's marriage, right?
Yeah, that
that's what
is.
marriage is about.
That is.
So, on that note,
Are we good?
we're good.
Any updates to share?
Any
I think that's
shows?
good.
Any shows you have coming up?
Any shows actually have? I
Plug 'em.
haven't.
Plug 'em, baby.
Okay, I'll tell you. I have.
But while that's happening,
Okay, sorry. I have one at the 26th at Culture Bar in Al Barsha. And then I have one on the 28th at the Clavichord in...
we're talking July.
Yeah, this month.
Mhm.
The 28th of this month, which is this Friday, at the Clavichord, which is in... what is the TCOM name? Barsha Heights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then 5th of August in Radisson at the Mac, wherever that is.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Catch
support your
Josh
boy,
there.
catch me at a show.
Yeah.
And
Most of the time I'm not there, but catch him.
yes, you'll be there. You'll be watching one of my shows very soon, my showcase very soon.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
that August?
That'll be August, yeah, my graduation show with brand new jokes, guys. So
Yeah,
stay tuned for that
interesting.
date.
Yeah, we're really
Come over. No, don't actually come over. Anyone who knows Janine, don't come over because every time her friends come, I bomb like crazy and I don't know why.
you're gonna do well.
Yeah.
You're gonna do
Let's
well.
see.
Yeah,
Let's
you're
see.
gonna do great.
Yeah. But thank you guys so
Support
much.
you.
Thank you.
And we love you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And on that note,
Have a nice day.
She's Team X. Like, we love you guys.
We like you as a friend.
Bye.
Bye.